It's a bit like asking, how many colors should I like? It makes no sense. You like the colors that you like, and you have the goals that you have. You should be asking a different question. Hey, in case you're new, my name is Peter, and one of the things I do is teach people how to be more organized and more productive. Now, I often get this question. How many goals should I have? This is a particularly popular question at the beginning of a new year. Right now we're in the first week of 2022, so perhaps this question has been on your brain. And I get it. So many people feel like their focus is scattered over too many things. People feel overwhelmed, and maybe this is the same for you. You might feel like you're trying to juggle too many balls, causing some of them or most of them to drop, and so you want to focus on fewer things at once. I get it. But asking how many goals you should have is the wrong question. Your goals are just the things that you want, and what you want is a fixed set. You may not know exactly what you want, but that's a problem you can solve through introspection. For example, go on a solo trip, journal, meditate. It's a bit like asking, how many colors should I like? It makes no sense. You like the colors that you like, and you have the goals that you have. You should be asking a different question. You should be asking a question about action steps. If goals are what you want, action steps are how you will achieve those things. And most people spend way too much time identifying and setting goals, and not nearly enough time identifying and scheduling action steps. Action steps come in different shapes and sizes. An action step might be a one-off project, such as building a new home recording studio, like I'm doing right now. Let me show you. I've got my nice YouTuber panels and my LED lights set up already. I just have to paint the walls and do a bunch of other things, right? That's a one-off project, and that is for the goal of reducing the friction involved in recording a video for you all. So there's a difference there between the goal, which is reducing the friction, and the action step, which is working on the studio. A lot of people might say, oh, my goal is to set up the studio, but then think about this. Why do you want the studio? It's for some reason. It's because you think it's cool, it reduces friction, because you need a quiet place to record, blah, blah, blah. So often the things you think are goals are not actually goals, they're action steps. Ask yourself why you want that and try and go a little bit deeper and see if you can draw that distinction between goals and action steps. Now, let me give you another example of a type of action step. Another type is an action step might be a recurring task, such as meet your personal trainer several times a week. The goal for that could be to build strength, or to lose weight, or to improve your cardiovascular fitness. Action steps also often come in the form of habits to build. For example, I'm working with a student one-on-one at the moment in my coaching program, and we're trying to get him to leave his phone outside of his bedroom at night. Now, for you, that might be an action step that you want to take as well to reduce anxiety and to fall asleep more easily. Again, there's a difference between what you want and how you're going to achieve it. And most people spend way too much time focused on what they want, not nearly enough time thinking about how they're going to achieve it, and then they get stuck and don't achieve their goals. So a better question to ask is, how many action steps should you have? And let's start here. For each goal that you have, write down one or more specific high-level action steps. So those could be projects, repeating tasks or events, habits to build. Write them down for each of your goals. Now, if you're like many of my students, you'll end up with a really, really long list. A list that's much longer than things you could complete in, let's say, the next 3 months. But that's okay. Again, these are simply the things that you want with items that will help you achieve those things. Doesn't mean you have to do them all right now, but by writing them all down, you can at least be honest with yourself. The next step is to prioritize. Which of these action steps are you going to work on sooner, and which of these action steps are you going to work on later? It helps to plan by quarter of the year. 3 months is a good length of time for high-level action steps. You'll be able to complete a number of high-level action steps in 3 months of the year. If you plan daily or weekly, that's too granular. Often the kinds of things that you need to do to move your really big long-term goals forward, they don't lend themselves to working on in a day or in a week. And you also don't want to stick to like annual planning because your goals may change a lot and the things that have your priority may change a lot throughout the year. So stick to planning every quarter. So the best question to ask is, how many action steps should I schedule for this quarter? And that depends on which types of action steps you've identified, on how much time you're going to have available in the coming quarter, and how much mental energy you think you'll have available. If you just had a kid and your baby is like 3 weeks old, you'll probably have a lot less mental energy than if you don't have such a situation going on. So if I told you you should have 15 high-level action steps for a quarter, that would be totally fake and a number that I pulled out of my butt. So I don't want to do that for you. Instead, I want you to think about a few things. So let's have a few general guidelines. Many action steps involve building habits. Build only one habit at a time. Building new habits is hard enough. Don't try to do 2. You can perhaps build 2 or 3 new habits in a quarter. Just do them sequentially, maybe 1 a month or something like that. But give yourself time. If you're building a new habit of, say, leaving your phone outside of the bedroom, and after 1.5 months you haven't done that yet, don't start working on the next thing. Instead, ask yourself, why haven't I built this habit yet? What other action steps can I take to help myself do this? How can I make it easier to leave my phone out of the bedroom? Do I need to put a charger somewhere outside of the bedroom? Do I need to put up a reminder post-it, etc., etc.? So get really, really specific on the what is it that you need to do. That will help you make progress. Another general guideline is that you want to schedule enough action steps for the upcoming quarter that you're neither going to be bored nor overwhelmed. So choose a number of action steps that feels challenging for you to complete, but not impossible. And finally, if you thought of an action step for one of your long-term goals that will take you more than a quarter, break it down into specific action steps that are much smaller, things that you can schedule for a specific quarter, right? Or where you can schedule a bunch of them in a specific quarter. That'll be much more pleasant and give you more of a sense of progress as well. It can be really tricky to clarify your goals, to identify specific action steps, and then to organize and schedule those action steps for a specific quarter or for a different quarter. Now, to help you with that, I created a free course called The Essentials of Big Picture Productivity. This course is the essentials of my course, Big Picture Productivity, of which one student said the following: after so many years of trying, I finally have a good framework in place for planning my life on a recurring basis. Isn't that neat? You can enroll in the Essentials of Big Picture Productivity for free right now by clicking the link in the description below the video. Do that, and soon you'll be on your way to planning specific action steps so you can achieve your goals for the new year or the new quarter whenever you're watching this. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.